returned a true bill of indictment, charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law arising from a criminal conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in this state.
Well, it's a decision we've been waiting to come down for months now. That's District Attorney Fani Willis announcing former President Donald Trump and his allies will face criminal charges. Arrest warrants have already been issued.
The former president is taking to Truth Social to deny any wrongdoing and sharing his thoughts on the new charges. He's calling District Attorney Fani Willis corrupt and says that the only reason her office is indicting him now is because he's in the middle of a re-election campaign. Nonetheless, this is the fourth time in 5 months that Trump has been indicted.
The Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm begins our team coverage this morning at the Fulton County Courthouse. Rebecca, former President Trump and the others are essentially accused of running a criminal enterprise.
It is a sweeping indictment, almost 100 pages long, and the defendants, including Mr. Trump, have until August 25th, so about a week and a half from today, to turn themselves in. It was about 9 o'clock last night when Fulton County Superior Court Judge Robert McBurney unsealed the indictment. The former president and Republican presidential frontrunner faces 13 criminal charges for his alleged role in trying to overturn the election results in Georgia. 18 of Trump's allies also face criminal charges, including former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani and former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. At about 11:30 last night, District Attorney Fani Willis addressed reporters regarding this RICO case.
Every individual charged in the indictment is charged with one count of violating Georgia's Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act through participation in a criminal enterprise in Fulton County, Georgia, and elsewhere to accomplish the illegal goal of allowing Donald J. Trump to seize the presidential term of office beginning on January 20th, 21.
Willis said she hopes to have a trial date within 60 days, but of course that will be up to the discretion of the judge. At the Fulton County Courthouse, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
All right, Rebecca, thanks. And as she just mentioned, former President Trump and the 18 others now face federal racketeering charges, and you may have some questions about what that means.
Yeah, so Georgia operates a little bit differently than other states when it comes to RICO statute. Yeah. And Brooks Baptiste joins us now with a closer look at this.
Hey guys, so Georgia statute classifies RICO in broader terms, meaning the threshold to prove it is not as high compared to federal RICO cases. So I want to break down how exactly this works. So RICO means racketeer, influenced and corrupt organization, and it is common to think of a gang facing a RICO charge. Well, the RICO case argues that any of the alleged crimes done were done to further the gang or criminal enterprise. Legal analysts say Georgia happens to be one of the best jurisdictions to bring a state-level RICO charge because prosecutors do not have to prove the actual criminal enterprise exists. They just have to show that there was criminal conduct and suggest that it's a part of a bigger scheme. And experts argue this could create a sweeping effect. Now, former U.S. Attorney of Middle Georgia, or District Georgia, Michael Moore says when lawyers use RICO as a tool, typically there's more room for the defense to poke some holes, and it's worth noting that Fulton prosecutors have somewhat successfully used RICO recently, previously in the Atlanta Public Schools cheating scandal, and currently the YSL case. Don?
All right, Brooks, thank you. And now that the former president has been indicted, their question is, what happens next?
Yeah, Atlanta News First Bridget Spencer is at the Fulton County Courthouse. Bridget, how is the former president reacting to this?
Well, the former president is appalled, and frankly, he thinks it is not fair. Now, let's talk about the next steps as we go from here. Now, with this Georgia indictment, this brings the number to 4 total indictments that the former president is facing. The slew of charges come for him just as he is launching a vigorous campaign for re-election in 2024. An indictment is in no way a conviction. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis says it is just giving some probable cause, and now her office has to prove these charges. They now have that burden of proof. which include racketeering and solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, just to name a few of the charges here. Now, in the meantime, some of Trump's supporters are still supporting him despite all of the allegations.
An indictment is in many ways the first step towards trial. So next there will be an arraignment, and then I expect that there will be very vigorous motion practice.
This whole thing with Trump, it's BS. That's the best way to say it. The indictment plays no role in how I'm going to vote.
Now, the president took to social media immediately, posting on Truth Social in part, why didn't they indict 2.5 years ago? Well, because they wanted to do it right in the middle of my political campaign. Witch hunt. Now, back here near the courthouse, you can see that Fulton County Sheriff's deputies have had the area blocked off for some time. They're also preparing for any reaction to the indictment announcement. Lawyers for Trump are also backing him. They are saying that these charges brought forward are absurd. Live in Atlanta, Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
All right, Bridget, thanks so much for that. And again, this is the fourth indictment Trump is facing, so we want to give you a quick recap. The first was out of New York on alleged hush money payments. Then Trump was indicted on 40 counts after classified documents were found at Mar-a-Lago. And most recently, a federal indictment on his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election and incite the Capitol riot. So be sure to download our free Atlanta News First app. We have in-depth coverage of all the charges against the former president. Our app is free for you in your app store.